Welcome back to the Green Workbench. Today we are making a wall treatment out of barn wood, and it is to serve two purposes. One is for decoration and the other is to hide the cords that are coming out of the TV and going over to the media center and DVD player, Xbox and all that. So in order to hide those cords I have to lift it off of the wall, and that also serves two purposes because this I don't want it permanently attached to the wall. So I'm going to create a frame to put the barnwood on out of 2x4s, and I'm going to rip the 2x4s into 1-inch strips. So I have my table saw set for 1-inch cuts, and I'm going to rip my 8-foot 2x4 into 1-inch sections that will make up the frame of our wall treatment. If you're going to buy lumber for the project, you might as well just buy 1-inch stock to start with. But I had 2x4s in hand, and I'm trying to do this low cost. So we've ripped our 2x4 into 3 1-inch pieces. So I have my 2 lengths, and then with the third piece I'm going to cut perpendicular. And my total needs to be 2 feet based on the room I'm putting it in. So I will measure out minus the 1.5 inches from the 2x4. So 24 minus 3, 21. I'll cut at least 4 pieces at 21 inches, and we'll go from there. Okay, they're each cut, so now I'm going to drill a pocket hole into each end to make it easier to connect them. And we'll do that for all the ends on the 21-inch pieces. Alright, making sure my corner's square, I'm going to drill in the screw. And do that for all 4 corners and for the 2 center braces. Okay, I've completed the frame. I could probably put another perpendicular piece there in the center, but it actually doesn't need to be that strong. The whole purpose of the frame is to bring the barnwood off of the wall and give room for the cords behind it. Once I attach the barnwood, it's going to make it strong anyway. So my next step is to start prepping the barnwood to cut. Okay, to prep my barnwood, pulled out all the nails, and then my wood was actually straight from a barn, so I power washed it all to get off all the years of dirt and grime, let it dry out. Then I cut them into about 33 to 34 inch pieces to make them easier to handle. And I'm going to rip them all so they have square edges. I'm going to rip off the rabbet. And the width actually doesn't matter. You just want them straight with true edges. So if you have a joiner, that would be a good way to do it as well. I'm just going to do it on the table saw. So I'll rip through them all, and then we'll start prepping to actually cut for size. Alright, so all my boards are ripped. So I'm going to attach them to the frame. I'm putting mine at an angle. You can put it whatever angle you want. And I'm just using brads to attach it. And then we'll put the next one down and just go all the way across. Alright, so I have all my planks nailed on. Now I've snapped a chalk line so I can trim it, and I came out a little bit from the edge of the 2x4 because I'll use a router to clean it up at the end. And I'll take my circular saw and run it down that line. Okay, using the flush cut bit on the router, I'm going to go around the edge so that I can make it flush with my 2x4 piece all the way around. Okay, all the edges are cut flush, and now it's time to route out the channels for all my TV cords. So I went inside and measured where these cords are going to drop, and I will route out a channel. Alright, so I've routed out these channels for my cords. Another option, if you need a little extra support or it seems flimsy, I just took some boards and nailed them across. Gives it a little extra support. So now I'm going to go hang it. I'll find the studs and pre-drill through my 2x4 section and screw it in. Alright, here we have it hung on the wall under the TV. You see I have an old radio that I use as my media cabinet, put a couple shelves in it. So the great thing about this wall treatment is you can add to it if you want to, and hang pictures or some other sort of decoration on it. You could hang a sconce on it, or just leave it plain like I did. It took 3 people to get up, one to screw it in, one to make sure all the cords were going into the cut channels, another one to hold the other side. And I found that the most difficult part was keeping the cords in the channels as I was putting it up, but with that third person we got that done. And this is just being held onto the wall with 4 screws, so you're doing minimal damage to the wall, and it hides the cords coming down from the TV to my media cabinet very nicely. I hope you enjoyed the project. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. And please check out my other videos, and I appreciate you watching. See you next time.